When I look back at my childhood, I see my life, my experiences through adult eyes. And what do I see? Well, it sort of terrifies me. Like that time as a baby when I didn't want my binky, or when I was made to wear that Halloween costume I hated. All the times being bored in school. There were good times though, like friendships I had, and that time I flew on an eagle. Oh, you didn't know I grew up in Hogwarts? And then there was adolescence and feelings of existential dread. But over time, I grew more and more confused, to the point that now I don't know if any of those memories are real or just reconstructions based on present-day schemas. What does it mean to say memories are reconstructions? For one, it dispels the idea that our minds are like cameras, recording precisely whatever comes into view as it truly happened. Our memories are not only imprecise recollections of the past, but those recollections themselves change over time. How we remember an event in our lives will change over time as we change, as our schemas change. We always see our memories funneled through our present self. Indeed, memories are always already filtered through our schemas when first formed. In undergoing an experience, the mind selects features of an event that conform to our expectations, something we already learned when discussing selective attention. We also make interpretations or attributions based on these expectations, assuming how certain features are connected and how and why certain things happen the way they do. So, for example, let's say a person is in a romantic relationship. When forming memories of these early days of the relationship, they tend to mostly positive features, the other's loving acts, how the other made this person feel, how sweet and kind they were. At the time of undergoing these experiences, we make inferences about them, such as that the other truly loves me, or that the person is doing these things because they're kind and sweet, and that they like me for who I am. What we remember then is not necessarily untrue, but it's not necessarily a perfect recording of that experience either. There may have been some moments we felt disappointed, concerned, or even hurt by, but our minds chose not to put too much focus on those features, and so they're largely forgotten, or at least not integrated into those memories. As such, memories are not recorded. They're constructed out of selected pieces of information and particular interpretations of events. Any distortions that happen with memories here are at the level of encoding and storage, but there is another opportunity for memories to be altered or distorted when retrieved. You see, when you retrieve a memory, it's not exactly like going into a filing system and extracting a single document. Instead, it's more like having a 10-page paper and taking each topic in that paper and filing it so that it goes under different folders. When you retrieve that information, your mind has to go through several different folders, grabbing individual files here and there, and then combining them. How we presently select and combine these individual files of past memories is dependent upon our current schemas, biasing the selection and combination process to fit within present expectations and not the expectations that we had when we formed those memories in the first place. In other words, current schematic knowledge facilitates the reconstructive retrieval of memories. It does this in several ways, such as dropping or shortening some features as well as embellishing and emphasizing others, along with reinterpreting the meaning of those features that we do recall. Let's return to our previous example of a romantic relationship. Let's say that relationship moves past its honeymoon phase and subsequently other hurtful or destructive characteristics and behaviors begin to be expressed by one's partner. These new experiences begin to alter one's schematic knowledge about the other person, moving from an understanding of them as kind, loving, and fun to someone who is mean, aggressive, and manipulative. When this happens, not only do our schemas begin to change, but as a result of this, so do our early memories of this relationship. Rather than recall those memories the way we initially encoded them, we begin to reconstruct them to fit our present-day understanding. Positive memories are either forgotten or reinterpreted as perhaps some form of manipulative charm. Also, negative experiences that received little attention when forming those memories are now given greater emphasis and perhaps embellished a little bit. We might even create new memories of actions that never happened, but that fit within our current experiences better. Consequently, we end up looking back at the relationship wondering how we could have ever been so foolish to not recognize the early warning signs and begin to realize that this partner has been hurtful from the very beginning. This is a kind of cognitive bias called hindsight bias, or what is sometimes called the I knew it all along principle. This is not to say that such a reconstructive retrieval is any more inaccurate than our original encoding of that memory, as those memories were made in a state of heightened romantic feelings and based on the schemas we had at that time. So they're not necessarily more accurate simply because they were closer in time to the original events. One of the potential negative implications has to do with the formation of false memories. False memories are like false facts, but the term false memory is usually applied to autobiographical memories rather than to general semantic knowledge. False memories include inaccurately remembering certain experiences or even having memories of events that simply never happened, even though we're sure that they did. This is particularly problematic when it comes to eyewitness testimony, which is the top reason why wrongful convictions happen in the first place. Eyewitnesses are often deemed highly reliable since they had a direct encounter with the alleged crimes of the defendant. However, and hopefully this is clear by what we've covered before, that it's not necessarily the case. First, eyewitnesses are susceptible to the same attentional biases we all are. Our schemas and emotions at the time of the event lead to distortions of our encoding and storage of that event. This is further compounded when there are racial differences between eyewitnesses and alleged perpetrators. Those witnesses are more likely to misidentify someone of a different race and more likely to misinterpret the meaning of certain actions that happened. Was the defendant acting aggressive to the police officer, or was the police officer appearing to use excessive force? A witness's answer to this question can be influenced, and quite significantly at times, by these schematic biases. Eyewitness testimony can also be biased after the event when provided new information about the case. This is known as the misinformation effect. A study that examined this effect presented participants with a video of a car accident. After watching the video, participants were given a series of questions about what they observed. The experimenters changed the nature of the questions for different groups. So they might have asked how fast the car was going when it hit the other car, or asked how fast the car was going when it smashed the other car. The change of wording produced different responses in the participants. Their memories could be further misinformed by being told that whether there was a stop sign when in fact there was a yield sign. It is for this reason eyewitnesses may be required not to speak to one another, not read or watch media about the case, and lawyers are not allowed to ask leading questions during court proceedings. There are also positive implications of reconstructive memories, and in fact, it may be a central feature of psychotherapeutic healing. If you struggle with depression and have developed some depressive schemas, it's likely you'll have foreign memories that support this depression. When you look back at your childhood, you recall the times you felt unloved and hurt. You remember the embarrassing things that happened to you or that you did. You feel tremendous shame about yourself in light of these memories. Psychotherapy provides a space for re-examining your past and present to open the possibility of emphasizing and reinterpreting your experiences. It also provides the opportunity to form a relationship with someone, the psychotherapist, potentially helping to alter current schemas. These schemas concern yourself and the nature of relationships in general. By altering these present-day schemas, you can also alter your memories of the past. Freud developed a concept to explain this phenomena of the present changing the past. This term is sometimes translated as deferred action, retroaction, or afterwardness. While this can also be negative, such as when a present experience leads a past memory to become traumatic, it can have a positive transformative impact as well. The past, so long as it is remembered, is never truly past. The past that can be remembered is a living past, one that I experience here and now. Just as our present is informed by our past is informed by our present. The very story of our lives, even the chapters already written, are not set in stone. We can develop new meanings that support us in our present day. This doesn't mean our past and our memories are wrong, and it doesn't mean that we have to lie to ourselves about our past in order to change it. I look at this situation a little different. What it means to me is that the story of our lives is yet to be codified. And isn't this the way really good stories are told? There are times when the end of the novel or movie completely transform the meaning of everything that previously transpired. The past is only truly written at the end, and until then, our task in the present is to work on ourselves in the here and now, to shape our character through life-giving choices and actions, so that when the end comes, we can look back with a set of eyes that allows us to view our past memories from the widest possible perspective, giving rise not to shame or regret, but hopefully wonder and gratitude. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.